Hello everyone, Computer here. If you play Limbus Company and you've been playing for a while or you just start playing, you might be struggling to understand the game, especially the battles. You probably don't know what is going on in your battles, and when you watch a battle, you'll be like, yeah, did I just win or did I just lose? I don't know, my units die, I don't know what happened. And you probably get this all the time, but okay. In today's video, we're gonna be figuring out what happens to your unit and give you a little bit of a concept on the fundamentals of the battles in general. This is only for normal battles. I'm not really talking about the abnormality battles because it's only different a little bit. It have a little bit of different, but this is for normal battles only. And I just gonna go in the battles right now. So at the start of the battles, as you can see here, this is gonna be the space that you're gonna be seeing. And this is your units, and this is their unit. It's the enemy, that's pretty sure, right? So what you want to know is, at the start, this is the numbers that got randomly generated. And you're probably wondering what is this and why. First off is the speed of the characters. And sometimes your characters swap places and everything. This is because the speed. The characters got places depends on the speed that they have. And every character have a different value of speed displayed here. So Lodion, this Lodion is gonna be randomly generate between 3 and 7 speed, right? So this is roll 4. So yeah, it depends on each character's speed. This one is 2 to 3 only. So he's a very slow unit, right? So yeah, that's about it. So the lowest speed unit got placed front, and the highest speed unit got placed at the left, the most left side and up. Alright. And yeah, it depends on where you stand. Okay, so first off, what does this implies? So every time you attack, or every time the enemy attacks, they will try to target the frontmost units first, starting with your right top, starting with your slowest unit. So the slowest unit is gonna be the one at the front most of the time. Alright, yeah. So yeah, this is why my sync crashed at the front, because he have like 2 speed. And the enemies will always attack them first, one by one, right? So yeah, this guy, 2 of these guys doesn't attack, just wait for counters so they don't do anything. And this guy press attack, so he goes here. This guy, so he goes here. The same is gonna happen with our unit as well. So if I do this, if you always attack the left upper side the most first, and then if I do this, it's gonna be the left but downside, right? If I do this, it's gonna be the right one and up, right? That's why it's crashed in this. If I do the next one, it's gonna be here. Yeah. So this the thing that you can do you can order them, right? You don't have to just randomly chaining everything, right? So for example, if I want someone to clash with this, especially when the guy is on this, right? He's on like the 4th slot. So what do? What can I do? I can do a lot of things, to be honest. I can like press a defense here, and then have this character not doing anything, and then have the second character do that thing instead, right? Do the first one instead, and have the third character attack the second one, and then have the last 2 flashing together. So these are one techniques that not much people know. That you can use the defensive skills to not do anything instead of just defending, right? So you can do this as well. So just keep that in mind. So that's how the order of the attacks kind of works out. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the clashes and how they calculate things. Right? Okay, so let's try out. Let's try to get something. Okay. So if the attack is on impulses, you're gonna be attacking the enemies, depends on the rolls and everything. But if it crash, okay, let's say that I lie this cache, right? So this and this gonna crash together. So what are the numbers at the top means? Alright, I will have to do something about it. Okay, as you can see, what is the numbers in the skills, right? When you change the skill, you have this, and the numbers at the top lining up together, right? So for my skill, Catch Breath is 6 and 14. For the enemies is 4 and 10, right? So what does these numbers mean? The first number is the minimum rolls you're gonna get. The second value is the maximum rolls you're gonna get. It's not a 50-50, by the way. So how do you calculate this? So when this crash happen, as you can see in my skill, we have 2 coins, right? This is where the coins come in. And you can see the coin bonus at the left side of my base number, right? So it's 6 plus 4, right? So if I roll ahead on 1 coin, you're gonna get it's gonna be 6 plus 4, which is 10, right? So it's not always 6 or 14. It can be 10 as well. It can be 14. As you can see, the maximum value is 14 though, because we start from 6 and then we plus 4 2 times. If we roll heads 2 times on the coins, of course. Yeah, the exact same thing applies to the enemy as well. As you can see, the enemy is starting with 4, but plus 3 on 2 coins, right? Yeah, that's how the coins and the numbers works. For the defense and the attacks, I have no idea what they does. So let's try to crash. Okay. So first off, right? Yes. After we crash, right? As you can see, the first crash happened. I roll 2 coins, right? I roll 2 coins, and all of them are tails, right? As you can see, there's no light here. So it started with 6, right? So there's no coin, so we don't get any plus from this. This time it's gonna be 6. For the enemies, they roll 1 coins, but they start with 4, and they got plus 3 to 7. They roll 1 tail, so they don't get the other one. Okay, but they still win in the end because I roll 6 for some reason. Okay, let's go to after the crash happens. The losing side lose 1 coin, right? So the losing side will lose 1 coin. So what happens? I started with 6, right? But I already lose 1 coin from losing the crash. So the 2 coins that I have earlier, I only have 1. So the maximum numbers that I can roll this time is gonna be 10 instead of 14, right? So yeah, if you win your crashes, you are more likely to win the next crashes as well. But that is not the case sometimes. Like this time, it's just roll 10s and I just win. Right? The enemy is low 7, the same thing. So I crash with the enemy, I win, right? And they're gonna lose 1 coin as well. And yeah, they lose 1 coin, right? And then but they win this time, so they're gonna win the crash, right? I lose all the coins, so the enemy gonna start the attacking session. Okay, so yeah, that time there's no attacking at all. It's only crashing, right? The crashing always happen before the attacking phase. The attacking phase is right now. I'm gonna have to skip this crash first, right? Okay. Basically, the attacking phase is, as you can see on my Ishmael here. The enemies had lost 1 coin, right? So the default one is like 2 coins. But he has lost 1 coin, so he's only gonna attack 1 time. But if the enemy have 2 coins, they're gonna attack 2 times, and they're gonna roll. The roll is the same as crashes, but yeah, the attack amount is not sure. Yeah, so he attacks me, I got the damage, everything done. That's how the battles work in general. So what you have to keep in mind is, and what people ignoring the most, is the weaknesses. You can click on enemy units to see what they are weak to and what they are strong to. Right, as you can see the enemy status as well. As you can see here. This is a Sims affinity. I think I ignore most of this, and I ignore this all the time, but as you can see here, that's all normal. This means that they take normal damage from every sense. There's nothing to worry about, right? But if they are weaknesses or like they are strong to some sense, you might have to consider using some skill on them. Okay, but the main resistance that I want you to look about is this one. It's these 3 types of attacks. It's like slash, pierce, and blunt. Yeah, these are very important ones that change all the time. People kind of ignore it and then get stuck and not sure what to do. So yeah, you have to look at this, right? They endure to the slash damage. So slash attacks do less damage to them. They are normal to pierce, so pierce are kinda okay, right? But they are fatal, which is weak to blunt damage. So blunt damage deal extra damage to this guy, right? This guy right here. So what you can do against that is you change your teams based on As you can see, when you click on team, you can look at the skills of each characters, right? This Sinclair got like blunt, right? Most of them are blunt attacks, so which is very effective to their attacks, okay? And yeah, this is also blunt as well. This one is pierce, and this is a slash, which is not really effective. This is a slash as well, so yeah, Ishmael might not be the best choice for this map because this guy are weak to blunt. Yeah, the same goes to this as well. The same goes to this force as well. But yeah, this guy is blunt, so yeah. So you have to look at the weaknesses. If you get stuck or get wrecked, you have to look at the enemies and see what their weaknesses are. And yeah, as you can see, it's gonna work out as expected. Okay, the next thing we have to talk about is the sin stuff right here, the things on the right side. All right, so first off, every time you use skills, you're gonna get a sin. Yeah, this one is envy, right? So if I use this thing together, I'm gonna gain probably two envy. One of these blue and yellows. Okay, let's see what I get after this. So as you can see, I get like some yellows, some purple. So if you chain them together, you're gonna get some of these coins. You chain them, you get the resources, and you can use these resources to use ego. If you place and hold on egos, you can use the character's ego. They are like the ultimate moves or everything. Yeah. So yeah, the egos kind of spend your resources at the time they are put on the board. You can use to not use them though, but they will stay on the board until you use them, or you like cancel it. You can see it like this. So yeah, that's how the resources work. There's also like character passives and this one as well. If you link the numbers together like I do with this, right? This is the determine skill activated. Force skill is like two change of the orange. The orange. Yeah, if you chain two orange together, this skill is gonna procs. After proxing, you get the effect of this passive skills, and it's gonna help you a little bit. So maybe you want to change your skills for the skill effect sometimes if it benefits you with the balance. So there. Okay, next thing we want to talk about is sanity. What does sanity even do? So they mentioned in the tutorial, if you're not already noticed, but the higher your sanity is, the better coin flips that you're gonna have. So the coin flip isn't exactly 50-50, right? So yeah, every time you do a coin flip, this one is not a 50-50. So every coin flip is not 50-50. If you have high sanity, it's much more likely that you're gonna roll heads and roll into something that's much more beneficial to you. Yeah, so that's about it for sanity, and you also use sanity for using EGO as well. So the ego is like your ultimate moves, right? But some ultimate moves cost sanity. So yeah, you have to get enough resource for EGO, and they use sanity as well. So be careful about that. Yeah, that's about it for the basic for the battles. So if you want me to do like more content on Limbus Company, I actually have never. My main game is like Uma Musume, and my content is mainly on Uma Musume. But if this video is helpful to you, leave comments down below. I will see if I can like make more contents on this game, and I will gladly do that. I will appreciate every feedback, by the way. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.